This is the grid that the Bombers call home.
You're throwing the tee in the ground. If your hand's not shaking, there's something wrong.
I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. I'm in my element. Flow is like water. I'm forced to a fire. I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth. Following God and you grinding. You do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center. Word to Spike Lee. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Memphis. How am I looking today? All right, I'm awake. Had an interesting route to get here, but we're here. Day 2, but this is day 1 of the Open Division. 64 men will enter battle, but only 1 man will survive here in Memphis. But got started yesterday. Let's take a peek who got into the World Championships. The host, Spencer McDaniel, Travis Aiken, Gavin Yokas, Glenn Wilson, and Josh Jackson are going to be at the World Championships in Atlanta in October.
Hi, I'm Spencer McDaniel.
Travis Aiken.
Glenn Wilson Jr.
Josh Jackson.
Gavin Yokas, and today I qualified for the World Long Drive Championships.
And today I qualified
for the World Long Drive Championship.
It was good. The regionals are a long day. You're kind of sticking in there in the early rounds and just hitting your marks.
I'm the perfect representation of a guy who should come out and give World Long Drive a shot.
What makes this location special is we've got kind of a blank canvas.
Number one, you're going to have a blast no matter what, right? That great camaraderie out here.
Yeah, I'm happy to qualify and shoot myself into the top 50.
World number 1, Kyle Berkshire, is going to start off the event in slot number 1. Daniel Owen, Rocco Gondak, Drew Anderson. Kyle coming off, as he would say, 30-1. Ended up sweeping the first 2 round robins in Denver and ended up going up against Scott Littlefield in the heads-up match in the round of 16 and ended up going OB. But Kyle looked great in Denver. Just had that one set where unfortunately didn't find the grid, but it looks like we're going to have the same structure again this week here in Memphis, where we're going to have 2 round robins, 64 to 32, and then 32 down to 16, and then we're going to go into the heads-up matches. So we're going to move pretty quickly here. But 64 guys are in the tournament. There is 1 ghost player as the point system goes. First, we'll take 200 points in the set. Second, we'll take 100. Third, we'll take 50. Fourth, we'll take 25, and then OB sets 0. Mr. Berkshire, 379 to start off the tournament. I know he's worked a lot over the last month, just working on his dispersion. You know, when you're Denver hitting the ball 450, 460 yards, those angles tighten up really quickly. A lot more difficult to get balls in play, but we're in Memphis. The balls aren't going to go as far. It's humid. It's hot. It's early in the morning, too, so 379 yards is an absolute bomb. Kyle looking like he's on cruise control right now, 230 miles per hour out of the gate. Wow, that's moving it early and often. Kyle Berkshire off to a really, really nice start here. Rocco Gondak, 337. Drew Anderson, 315. Daniel Owen without a mark. But we are in Memphis, Tennessee. It is summer. It is hot. It is humid. Right now, there is no movement in the flags, probably a mile or 2. Daniel Owen with a 340 ball. Kyle at 379, 377. I'm without my counterpart today, Alexis Belton. But we'll get a bunch of guests in the booth today to help me out. But I'll be flying solo here for the first group, it looks like. Try to get a couple guys in here, even Mike Ambrose as well. Mike's been involved in Long Drive for the last 30 years and set up tournaments. And he's done anything and everything in this sport. So we might be able to get Mike here in the booth soon. But Kyle Berkshire off to a nice start at 379. Pretty much picking up where he left off. Kyle's going to take down the first set, 379, Daniel Owen 340, Rocco Gondak 337, Drew Anderson 315. We'll be tuning in. I'll be tuning in on YouTube. Flying solo, so ask a lot of questions. I'll answer as many as I can. Bobby Bradley in the booth. We got 116 live right now. Sam Judah. 5-hour drive to Arkansas. You're not hitting this week? Sam Judah ain't hitting? All right, let me look. Let me look at the formats here. I guess Sam's not hidden. Anyways, well, you're missed. TJ Allison is on. All right, we got Bobby Ray, slot number 1, Isaiah Joyner, Justin Rich, and we have a ghost player. Ghost players never hit it in play, but you know what? They never go B either. But there potentially could be 2 ghost players, which is possible. It looks like we might be missing someone here. Someone might not have shown up. Isaiah's hitting right now, but we'll get Isaiah. We'll get everybody in the booth. Whenever everybody's sitting or done hitting, I mean, I'll try to get in Kyle and Bobby Ray's always will be a interesting cat to have in here. Yeah, Kyle right now weighs probably about 215. I mean, he tried to cut weight. I mean, when he first got into lawn drive, he was probably 225 to 230 and got down when he hit finally broke into that 230 mile per hour ball speed number. He was at 193 pounds. So I know that he was trying to stay lean, but it doesn't take Kyle too long to put on some weight. He's working out with a calorie deficit, but yeah, he looks really comfortable at about 215 pounds. Right now, no numbers on the board for Bobby Ray, Isaiah Joyner, Justin Rich. Ghost player is at 0. Marty Borghi, 240, the 2022 world champion. The Mesquite Volume 1 champion is going to be in the booth with me later, Marty Borghi. Hopefully you got some rest, big guy. Look forward to seeing you here later. Been taking a peek at everybody's comments here. Bobby Ray off to a nice start, 386. I feel like that's a huge golf ball right now. Kyle with the 379, Bobby Ray at 368. Let's take a peek at the speeds now. They're keying in on Bobby Ray. Obi Wright, 145. Let's take a peek at the numbers, 206 ball speed. But yeah, Kyle, from what I saw so far, his first couple balls, he was right at 230. So he's cruising at 230 at 8 in the morning. But looking forward to seeing Martin Borgmeyer hit later on. Martin ended up having a great tournament in Denver, going up against Zach Holton. And the crazy thing is that Martin's 5th ball, because I was standing on the tee box and got the call from Dennis that Martin's ball was OB at 480 yards in the finals against Zach Holton. But what a set! Both guys. Martin ended up hitting 5 balls in Denver and didn't even hit his 6th ball, where he hit a bunch of balls over 400 yards. Was flirting with Joe Miller's record of close to 2,600 yards. But Zach Holton would have absolutely obliterated the longest set in the history of our sport if he hit that last ball in play. He was almost at like 2,300 yards. It was in his worst drive was like 460 something. So Bobby Ray's going to take down the set at 368. Isaiah Joyner at 345. Justin Rich with no numbers.
The World Long Drive Virtual Tournament is live. All summer long, compete in this virtual tournament for a chance to win a cash prize. World Long Drive is giving away $1,000 in monthly prize money to the top driver in each division. Top 50 per division will advance to the finals in September with a prize pool of $25,000. You can enter as many times as you want. For full details and to register, visit worldlongdrive.com or scan this QR code on your screen right now.
Bobby Ray off to a nice start today. 3 balls in play, a little over 360 yards in every single one of those, so it's a good start for Robert Ray, who is back wearing the sleeveless shirt and the really short, tight shorts. We were very disappointed that Bobby Ray was wearing pants and not a long sleeve shirt, but a regular shirt in Denver on day 2. He said he'll never do it again. He doesn't even care if it's 25 degrees out. He's wearing tight shorts and a tank top, his signature. Right now we have Scotty Pearman, Wes Patterson, Josh Jackson, and Trey Fankhauser. Good name, Trey. It's my son's name, buddy. Good luck. First time seeing Trey here. Slot number 4, Josh Jackson, coming off qualifying for the World Championships yesterday. And I'm not sure. I'm going to have to ask Josh. That might actually be his first World Championship appearance in his career. So congrats to him. We'll ask him later if he's competed at the World Championships before. I know that he's been around the last 3 or 4 years. Scotty Pearman, 2-time amateur world champion. Wes Patterson, the Global Infinity Series 2018 champion in China. But Wes ended up making the final 16 in Denver. Scotty Pearman making a final 16 appearance in Denver as well. 365. That looks to be like a really nice number. So it just shows, the ball speed right now with, Kyle being at 230 with 379 ball. That is a monster drive right now. Looking at the numbers yesterday and the regionals, looks like Spencer McDaniel went 349 and to win it. They said there was a little bit of a slight headwind, but today the conditions are a little bit different. So, but let's take a peek here. We got Wes Patterson, slot number 2. And Wes, we always talk about Wes's ball flight. When he's center punching these things, there's not too much movement in his golf ball, and he ended up going 217 at his last tournament. So he's getting faster as the season moves on. And Wes is from Memphis, so this is a home game for him, even though he lives in Hobe Sound. No numbers on the board yet for Wes. It looks like that 4th ball he did hit might have been in play. It looked like it was flirting down that left side. Scotty Pearman in the lead currently is 365. Josh Jackson 350. Mr. Trey at 336. This one looks good from Wes. 212 ball. Let's look at the height. 106. So a little bit lower on the height. Right now, as you can see, there is moisture on the ground. It is 8:11 currently Central Standard Time in Memphis, Tennessee. Pound for pound, best hitter. Well, I mean, obviously Kyle can go 230 at 193 pounds, and he can go 230 at 225 pounds too. Because I know at the World Championships he was in and around 225. Wes Patterson with 355 on ball number 5. That little cut that stayed down that right side is going to stay in play. Scotty Pearman is going to take down the set at 365. So right now we have 3 straight wins in slot number 1. Pound for pound, the fastest guy or the longest guy. His name was Landon Calling. Landon he had to have been maybe 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", 145, 150 pounds. He ended up coming 3rd in the world 2008 against Jamie. And so that was impressive. And not only that, Jamie Sedlowski being 165, 70 pounds. We always joked around with Jamie. It's like every time we would do these corporate outings around North America, he would get smaller and smaller and smaller as the years went on. They're like, yeah, man, we had that Sadlanovich kid there, this Sedlowski guy. He was 4'3", 114 pounds, soaking wet, hitting a golf ball through a light pole, 498 yards. So, Jamie had that. He just got smaller and smaller and smaller. But yeah, Jamie was about probably 165, 170 when he won his 2 world championships. So, I guess the moral of that story is that you could be any size. I mean, you got Mike Dobbin, who's 6'9", 300 pounds, that has a world championship, and you got Sadlowski, that's 4'2", 110 pounds, or however much win in tournaments. But yeah, Jamie was probably about 5'11", 165, 170 pounds, winning world championships. But Colton Casto in slot number 1, Brian Kelly in 2, Jay Helstowski and C.J. Shaw this looks like we don't have to have 2 ghost players. They were kind of worried about having a ghost player. Or you know what? CJ Shaw didn't show up. They have 2 ghosts. So in the final round, there will be 2 ghost players. So it'll be a very important round for those people that are in that, because, I mean, they hit one in play. Worst case scenario, they're going to get 100 points. We did talk about if C.J. Shaw didn't show up that I could have filled in, but it's been tough to announce with this headset on. But I would have hit. Just looking at the comments, Isaiah Joyner will be a world championship soon. The kid's a stud, man. Anytime you put yourself in position, in the final 16, anybody can win. Anybody. And now that they're doing heads-up matches currently in the final 16, it's like I said, we go up. Got Scotty Littlefield that went up against Kyle, and Scotty put out a good number, and obviously Kyle didn't go put one in play. But it turns into single elimination, and we talked about Bryson Dechambeau last year. Like, Bryson needed to make it to the final 8 to give himself that chance. Obviously, he's not the fastest guy on the planet, but you know what? He put a lot of balls in play and went up against Marty Borghi in the finals. So, Colton Castro 368. We got 4 straight wins in slot number 1.
Bobby Ray, do you think that your multi-sport background has helped you kind of train, and do you still train that way for long drive now?
I do think that just being an athlete, being around sports obviously helps and translates into any other sport. When it comes to my workout and my fitness, I definitely geared it a little bit differently. My workouts have traditionally been just like for aesthetic purposes, and it just so happens that translates into hitting the ball further. So I've competed at high-level sports my whole life, but you're just embracing that adrenaline, and I miss it, and you can't replicate it.
Bobby Ray. Long way, Bobby Ray. We're definitely going to get him in the booth. We'll try to keep it as censored as possible with him in here. He's a wild card. Wes Patterson, Bobby Ray, C.J. Shaw, Rocco Gondek. So we're talking about, right now it's early. With the fans, if I had to guess, I'm not the best at guesstimating. I mean, if you follow me on Lawn Drivers, I do guesstimates from time to time. I say there's probably 47,817 people in the stands right now, give or take a few 10,000, 20,000. But we start having these televised events, Kingsport, Tennessee, and then we're going to be out in L.A. Oceanside, California. Then the World Championships, and feel very strongly that we'll have a nice crowd. I mean, Kingsport, Tennessee, they bring it, so there'll be a ton of people. So once these televised events are on, you're going to see a lot of people in the stands. So once again, GF Sports and Entertainment, thanks for having us out, Acquired World Lawn Drive, and 11 events across the country, and even in Canada. We're in Canada in 2 weeks from now, so that'll be fun. And Martin hosted an event not too long ago in Germany that Josh Koch ended up winning. But right now, slot number 1 seems to be the slot. Everybody's winning in there, and Wes is at 360, which seems to be a really, really nice number. Bobby Ray's longest drive so far is at 360 win right now. So they're heading into a slight headwind. Bobby Ray with a 371 ball. That's a bomb. Good ball there from Robert Ray. Rocking the nice tight pink leopard shorts and tank top. Rocco here in slot number 4. All us South Florida boys had issues getting out here. Rocco ended up just driving. Oh, man. Is it lame without the ladies? Of course, we miss you. Cassandra Meyer making a final 8. Cass Marie. But yes, we miss the ladies out here. It was nice to see Phyllis back in the winner's circle. Phyllis Meddy taking down the last tournament in Denver against Gabby Powell. It looks like Cassandra's out in Wisconsin. Bobby Ray, 371. Wes Patterson, 360. Rocco Gondek, 334. C.J. Shaw did not show up. He will go OB just like the ghost hitter. But we are in Memphis. Home to Graceland, home of Elvis Presley, the second most visited private home in the United States next to the White House in Washington, D.C. I like how they wrote that here. Oh, we had no idea the White House is in Washington, D.C. What is it, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or something like that? I don't know. I think it's something like that. Yeah, Memphis is mentioned in more songs than any other city in the world, more than 400 according to Billboard magazine. I know Justin Timberlake's from here too, so he's got a couple good songs out. Yeah. Memphis is the birthplace of blues, soul, and rock and roll music. So you're just getting a history lesson in Memphis, you know. I'm getting over my fear of reading out loud to people. So I remember I got drafted and they wanted me to read like the kindergartners. I'm like, they can read better than I can promise you that. Elvis is from Tupelo, my home city. All right. Well, I don't know where that is, but I'm guessing it's in Tennessee. If I'm wrong, sorry. All right. Isaiah Joyner, Scotty Pearman, Drew Anderson, Jay Helstowski. Slot number 1 is 5-0 right now. And I guess if you hit a little bit of a cut, it's good. I mean, this place is awesome, by the way. Beautiful facility as far as the turf. It's perfect. We've been on turf farms the last 2 events. And, yeah, it's got a good amphitheater type of feel to it. You got trees lining the around the entire property, very similar to when we were in London out in Brockett Hall. Really, really nice grid to look at. So, and even on the driving range, they have the flag set up in the same direction as the grid. So those guys get to practice on the practice facility where it's. Go right, move over another 100 yards, and you're on the grid. But right now, slot number 1 is still in the lead, 352. Isaiah Joyner, Scotty Pearman, Drew Anderson, Jay Helstowski, Scotty Pearman working on a number here. Jay Helstowski with a big number here at 353. So slot number 4 is taking a lead by 1 yard. They said, fire away. Ask as many questions. I said, don't have a driver in my bag. Any recommendations? Well, I could tell you the one guy that I always went to, and rest in peace, Steve McGann. But Steve McGann was the man when it came to, like, any clubs. Helstowski, 367. Isaiah Joyner, 355. There you go. Jay with the big number. And Jay's fast too. Like I know, look at those numbers: 2:16.7. He's got a ton of speed. But I know that they have a long drive forum on Facebook where you could purchase clubs. And they said you always give Bobby Peterson a buzz. I know that he's got plenty of clubs there that have been used and hit, and shafts, what have you, to save you a little bit of money. $243 on hand right now watching. Thank you for tuning in. Looks like slot number 4 is going to take it down. Jay Helstowski, 367. Isaiah Joyner is going to take second at 355. Once again, we will have people in the booth with us. Martin Borkmeyer will join us later. Taking a peek who's out in the stands right now. More than likely, I won't be able to get too many guys here. If I do see him that's not hitting, we're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back.
Looking to compete on the World Long Drive Tour for the largest prize purses in World Long Drive history? Pro and amateur members can compete in their respective divisions all summer long as World Long Drive kicks off their 2023 tour. Visit worldlongdrive.com to become a member and view all the registration dates for upcoming tour events.
We have Josh Jackson in slot number 4, and it is confirmed he qualified for his first World Championship in October. Congratulations, Josh Jackson. He will be in slot number 4. So Bobby Ray with 2 wins. Jay Helstowski going OB in his first set, ends up taking down set number 2, so he's at 200 points. Isaiah Joyner and Wes Patterson and Scotty Pearman are at 200. Scotty ended up going OB. But we do have 2 ghost players right now, so it only really truly benefits the guys that hit last. So like the lowest world rankings, not the highest world rankings, will have a crack at 200 points and 100 points. So just hitting a ball in play is important for those guys later on down the road. So Colton Casto here in slot number 2. We'll take a peek at him. I said we always talk about, Colton getting balls in early. And as we said, prototypical ball flight. That's normally Colton's miss if you're looking at him right now. That big old sweeping right to left. He'll just try to tighten it up just a little bit. Looks like he's going back to the Patterson. He was mixing and matching setups the last couple events, which you see a lot of guys do. Colton is always at Bobby's working. I mean, he putting in a ton of work. And the beauty of being in Newton Grove, North Carolina, is that you're going to see the longest guys on the planet practicing with each other. So, really, really comfortable. Yeah, it's like talk about Jack Smith. Jack Smith, rookie, didn't look like one in Denver, making his rookie debut and did extremely well, making a final 8 and really fast. And he gets to practice against the best hitters in the world. So, Colton looks like he's going to have his 3rd ball in play, little draw. And he's changing the setup. So right there, I know that's probably the LD. Might not be the LD60, but I know that it's a little bit tighter. So this goes up on the CPM. But let's take a peek here. All right. So right now there's 16 hitters. 8 guys are going to advance to the round of 32. And once again, first place takes 200 points. Second place takes 100. Third place takes 50. Fourth place takes 25. And in around 450 points after round 5 is the bubble. You'll see guys get in at 375. You'll see guys get bounced at 500. Ryan Gregnall, Zach Holton ended up getting eliminated a couple tournaments ago at 500 points. So putting balls in play is a premium. Colton Casto currently in the lead at 355. So if he does take down this set, he will win the first 2 sets as well. So he'll be at 400 points, which is a nice start to a tournament. And these events, they're not necessarily marathons, but it's really nice if they can conserve their energy. So 3 straight wins, they can come out and slot, set 4 and 5 and just kind of be on autopilot and just kind of cruise and conserve that energy. And, the 8 o'clock group, they're going to get the most amount of rest. So the Colton off to a good start here. Bobby Ray, both him and Colton are at 400 points. How much would it cost? I would have to pay you, Sam, to be on your show, Turbo Daily. I'm not fast enough. The grid starts at 270, and literally someone could hit it 1,000 yards, and I don't think that it would get to the end of the grid. But right now we're in Memphis, Tennessee, and I feels very similar to South Florida where I'm from, and I don't feel like, 400 yards is an absolute bomb. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody go 400 yards in Memphis. And once again, we talked about Spencer McDaniel. He's the host. He's been, hosting this event for several years. Does an awesome job. And this is the first time we've been on the turf farm. And you'll see wins in Memphis at 340, 350, 360. Will Hogue from Memphis. He's won in Memphis a bunch. He will be hitting here later today. Fire Marshal Will. So the most you can get, yes, is 1,000 points. 1,000 points is the most. So let's take a peek at Kyle. This is the first time he's hit. This is the longest in between sets. Is the guys that are ranked number 1 in the round robin hit first set, and then they take about 20 to 25 minutes off to hit their next set. So really important right now. Kyle's just going to focus on trying to get balls in play, and something that he did mention, because we could potentially be hitting into the wind, what have you, is that he's going to try to focus on lowering that ball flight just a little bit. Brian Kelly in the lead at 334. Trey Fankhauser's at 333. Justin Rich with no marks on the board. Let's take a peek. Kyle Berkshire, slot number 2. This one looks like it's flirting down the left side. Not sure if that one's going to stay in play or not. Taking a peek once again at YouTube. Just fire away. Ask as many questions as possible. I'll do my best to answer them. Brian Kelly, 344, currently in the lead. Kyle Berkshire's down to his last 2 balls. He has the longest drive of the set so far at 379 yards. Bobby Ray's at 371. Colton Castro, 368. Looks like he's hitting a little bit of a draw here. First set from Kyle looked impressive. Ended up hitting 230 ball speed. Justin Rich without any numbers on the board as of right now, but Brian Kelly currently in the lead at 344. Two minutes and 30 seconds on the clock if you're tuning in. These guys get 6 balls. They got to hit 1 ball in play. Looks like Kyle's going to go OB. So we have a couple OB sets so far. Once this set is done, we'll take a peek at how many guys have gone OB. We've got Jay Helstowski and Scotty Pearman. Looks like Kyle's going to go OB. Justin Rich is going to go OB as well.
At every stop in the World Long Drive Tour, we'll follow a different athlete at the grid. In LaSalle, Colorado, it was Seb Twiddell, a 22-year-old rookie coming off of his first event win in Mesquite Volume 2.
Yeah, I think every year World Long Drive has a really special person that's introduced to the game from anywhere around the world, and Seb has been that person this year.
He's obviously a freak of nature. Was he about 6'6", 260?
His legs come up to my head, so that's an obvious advantage in the long drive game when you're 7'2".
He's put on a ton of weight, 30, 40 pounds over the last year. He's a freak, and freaks are good for our sport because it gets people to come out and watch.
He has a very high intelligence when it comes to athleticism. He's able to learn quickly, and we've been able to see that over this year from him going to a very fresh rookie, and now he kind of looks like a veteran.
If Seb figures it out, and if Seb continues to perform like he has been, it kind of narrows the field down to only a number of guys who can win. So selfishly, I kind of want Seb to go back to his old ways, because if he's like this, he's tough to beat.
I said he's going to be probably pretty good, and then he hit like 240 or something, and then he beat me. So we're not friends. About it.
I just love the snapping turtle, Justin James, just stoic. He's like a comedian and no one knows it. No one knows how funny Justin James is, but Seb Twiddell taking down Mesquite Volume 2, and it mentioned, during that interview after Denver, is that, Seb being 22 years old, growing into that body of his, I feel like he's progressed a lot faster than I thought, and he really stayed inside, true to his game plan in Mesquite the entire tournament, where he sat around 220 to 222. He kind of stepped on the gas at times when he didn't necessarily need it, but he even said he struggled a little bit in Denver, but he ended up making a final 8. So that shows you, like, he's really good, and he's just going to get better and better as this season moves on, and it'll be interesting to follow his career because he is fast, and 240 miles per hour is absolutely moving it. And I know there's several guys, with Martin and Kyle and Greg and all that are knocking on that doorstep. But Scotty Pearman coming back right now. He's in the lead after going OB, so Scotty Pearman's at 360. But, Seb Twiddell's a great hitter. Good hitter, and he'll be hitting later on today. And going to YouTube. Yeah. So let's take a peek at the media guys here. Let's talk about some of these guys. Let's see where all these guys are from here. I know where Scotty's from. He's from North Carolina. So Rocco Gondak, he's down in West Palm Beach. He drove up to Memphis. We had, like I said, a ton of issues yesterday. But, Scotty Pearman, making a final 16 last tournament. Guy that was the PLDA regular season player of the year in 2021. Scotty two-time world champ as well in the amateur division. Just a great competitor, but you know what? More importantly, a great dude, an awesome guy. So it looks like Scotty Pearman's going to take down that set at 360, Brian Kelly at 349. What does that put BK at? That'll put BK at 400. And Brian's the type of guy that's just going to hit a bunch of balls in play, ball striker, similar to Jacob Galladay, that they're never going to beat themselves. You got to beat them. So BK's at 400 points after 3 sets. We talked about Bryson. You know, Bryson for 2 years, it was incredible to watch him climb in speed, but it was just more fun to watch him compete and watch Bryson get better and better and better as the tournament went on. And we're sitting in the booth, me and Mike Dobbin, talking about him being 210 to 212 on day 1, then 212 to 213 day 2, the like 214 to 216, and the last day he got up to like 218 ball speed the first year. Really fun to watch Bryson, but at the end of the day, the kid's made, 9 figures playing golf. I always tell him, I was like, Dechambeau, you get that golf ball in the hole faster than everybody else, and that's his job, and for him to come out and put, long drive has been on the map. We've been around for close to 50 years, and but to have someone of his caliber come out and a guy that's won a major of the U.S. Open, to play and compete against the longest hitters on the planet and compete against them and have a legitimate chance to win a world championship, it's a tip of the cap to him. I'm not sure if he's going to come back, this year to compete, but as you've seen the last 4 or 5 events that he's entered, tournaments, live events and majors, he's done really well, and he's getting back in that. He broke his hamate bone, so he had the battle injury, but I like seeing Bryson, play, whether he's playing 54 holes or 72 holes. I like seeing him on the golf course because that's his wheelhouse. But at the end of the day, you gave him 3-4 months to train. He's one of the best lawn drivers on the planet as well. So Dechambeau, hello, wherever you're at. He's probably in Dallas. All right, so Colton Castro, 369. Wes Patterson, 361. Justin Rich, 337. Drew Anderson, 320. That 365 seems to be in and around the number that are winning these sets. And seeing Wes Patterson here in slot number 4. Let's take a peek at Wes. Hobe Sound, Florida. I said Wes's ball speed has jumped the last couple tournaments, and when Wes is hitting it straight, he is dangerous, very, very dangerous. But Colton Castro takes down the set at 369 yards.
Introducing World Long Drive International memberships. World Long Drive welcomes all of their international affiliates as part of the World Long Drive family. With an international membership, our worldwide competitors now have the ability to compete in internationally sanctioned World Long Drive events, the ability to earn world ranking points, plus all of the great community membership benefits. Sign up for an international membership today at worldlongdrive.com. All pro memberships include the ability to compete in international World Long Drive sanctioned events. Learn more at worldlongdrive.com.
So, looking at YouTube, talking about Kyle, OB sets are going to happen. When these guys are swinging that hard, it's going to happen. And that's the beauty of the round robins, is that you can have a couple bad sets where you can still get in. And the guys, that are watching want to see the fastest guys and longest guys on the planet, they're late. What I did like about the round of 16 where there were heads-up matches was being able to see guys like a Scott Littlefield that you might not see, when it kind of gets lost when there's 4 guys on a tee box. But he goes heads-up against Kyle, and he makes a final 8. And, like I said, there's a lot of really talented guys that you might not see, making final 8s until, like I said, you get to that heads-up match. But, Martin ends up winning event number 1. JJ wins 2. Seb Twiddell wins 3. Zach Holton wins 4. Obviously, Kyle, I would say, if I'm a gambling man, is due to win a tournament here sooner than later. So, but right now, still working on trying to find the center of the club face in the grid right now. Kyle Zobie on his first 2 balls. Josh Jackson at 358. It really looks like slot number 1. Guys are hitting a lot of balls in play. This one looks good for Kyle. 228.1, nice ball flight. Look at the carry distance, too, 364 on Flight Scope. Flight Scope has been the official launch monitor, collecting all of the data, making us look good here in the booth because we have data upon data upon data to kind of get a good idea of what's going on in the grid, what ball flight works, what spin rates, which launch angles. But Kyle at 372, so he's got the 2 longest drives so far of the tournament. Right now, good balls are actually getting 15 to 20 yards of rollout. So that is going to probably improve as the day goes on just because it is humid and it's wet right now. There's still moisture on the ground. Kyle Berkshire back in the saddle here, putting a ball in play. With a win, he would be at 400 points after 3 sets. CJ Shaw is not on the tee box. And I think that was the person that I could potentially have taken his spot if I did have to hit. But I had a rough day yesterday of travel. I made it. It was bad. The first flight got delayed 6 hours and then got canceled. And I drove back home and then went to Miami. And that flight got delayed from 10:10 to 1 o'clock at night. So working on a couple hours. But you know what? I feel great. I got my boy here taking care of me with my coffee. Kyle Berkshire 372, Josh Jackson 358, Isaiah Joyner with no marks. Jay Helstowski is straight up a stud. You know what? He's fast, and his misses are just little pulls, or that you're not seeing too much dispersion on his golf ball. So he hits a nice straight golf ball. So yes, Jay Helstowski at 216 ball speed with those landing angles. If the ground's hard, just got to put balls in play in crunch time. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jay Helstowski in the final 16 if he's putting up numbers like he did last set. And you'll see him here in slot number 1. Yeah, and that's the beauty of this. We got 11 tournaments. These guys are going to settle in. Normally, if it's their first couple events, they're going to be nervous. And, they got to get accustomed to being on the tee box and not necessarily caring who's on the tee box with them. You kind of get caught up in the names that are on the tee box. But, if you stay within your game and you focus on your game plan, well, let's take a look at Jay Helstowski here, 212.5. This ball is just floating down that right side, no movement, 150 feet in the air, a little bit of a cut. 8 yards of movement left to right. I like that golf ball. And slot number 1 has definitely been the favorite so far based off of, the wins. So he's at 360. Good start for Jay. But, yeah, I got my boy Elon here. He's working. He's giving me, all the information that I need here. Bobby Ray with a nice ball down the left side at 211. Bobby Ray at 344 currently. That looks like that will improve. But take a peek at if you're watching here, at the carry distance. So now that we know that there's 15 to 20 yards of rollout, we'll take a look at that carry number. So Bobby Ray improves slightly to 355. Jay Helstowski 368. Really liking that slot for him. And there was his first miss there where he hit that big sweeping hook, but Jay Helstowski. I like Daniel Lone's speed, too. He's got good hands, really, really good hands. All right, so Jay Helstowski, 2022 amateur long drive champion, move up 6 spots in the rankings from 103rd to 97 after his last event in LaSalle, Colorado, and advanced to the top 32 in Hobe Sound. He's from Chicago, Illinois. That's where my family's from. So, Schaumburg, Wakanda, Palatine, Lake Zurich. Gerald Helstowski. I'm guessing, I'm going to take a wild guess, Gerald, and say that you are related to him. So, see, you know what, Kelly? I'm reading a lot from Kelly Whitehurst. Kelly, I like this. Too bad you're not in the booth with me. You know, as a fan or what have you. I'd like to have you in the booth. You know, say play the devil's advocate here. You know, so, but Kyle is not in a good frame of mind right now. He actually is. I mean, he went 30-0. You know, at the end of the day, let's take a look back at Denver. He goes 30-0. That's against the best hitters in the world. He had one bad set. So that means he had to hit 10 sets and have to beat everybody on a tee box. So, you know, it happens. I mean, these guys are really, really fast, and if you're not hitting the center of the club face and you're off by just a little bit, it's going to be hard to find the grid. But, you know, mentally, I talk to Kyle 5 times a week. He's locked and loaded.
Introducing the new Bridgestone E9 Long Drive, co-designed by world long drive athletes to push the limits of distance. Thanks to extreme ball speed and superior aerodynamic flight. Engineered for you to hit your longest drive. Drive the new E9 Long Drive. Extreme distance for your game.
Yeah, that golf ball's... Guys are figuring it out. I hit the golf ball at the World Championships last year, and it really truly flies straight, and it flies far. It's just these guys are having to make these changes, you know, going to a different golf ball. We were using the Top Flight for, you know, several years, and guys got accustomed to like a certain feel and a certain ball flight and the characteristics of that golf ball. And you're starting to see these guys make these changes as we go along. But like for me, granted, I'm not very fast, you know, in and around, you know, say 195 to 200. I take too much pride in riding the bike and not working out, you know, per se. But I'm slow, and that's why I'm in the booth. But you know, it's a really good golf ball to hit, you know, for me. Put a lot of balls in play. I've used them at corporate and charity exhibitions, and you know, fun to hit. The yellow golf balls are really easy to see too as well. So, but right now we got Trey Fankhauser in slot number 1, Colton Casto in 4. Starting off with a 360 ball, which just take a look at everybody's longest numbers. Where is Isaiah Joyner at? His longest ball so far is at 355. Coming in off an OB set, he's got a ball in play, which is nice. Going back to the live chat here. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to go back to the live chat here on my phone. Said, proud dad. Proud dad. Well, yeah, your son's a stud, man. He's in a lot of balls in play, Gerald. And he's fast. he's fast, and he hits it straight. And he hits balls in play. Yeah, it said he's let's take a peek. It said, what is his height? What's his height, Pops? What's Jay's height? Because he seems like he's tall, very tall. All right, we got 400 people online right now. Thanks for tuning in. We're live in Memphis, Tennessee. This is event number 5 in the year. We're going to be in Canada in a couple weeks, Port Rowan. A very, very narrow grid, so that'll be interesting to see. You know, what approach these guys are going to take on that grid. I've hit on there before, and it does get good rollout, but it's pretty narrow. It'll definitely be the most narrow grid that we hit on the entire year. 6'5". Chris Hall, what's up, baby? Are you competing, Christopher Hall? He's a Memphis guy. He's got to be hitting this week. Becca Pearman. It's like, get some videos of Scotty. I will. I'll try to do my best. I'm multitasking as it is right now, but Colton Castro takes down the set at 361. Isaiah Joyner, 351. Trey Fankhauser at 333. It looks like Rocco Gondek's going to be tied at 333 as well. When we do have ties, they just chop up the points, so they're going to chop up 75 points. And with my high school education, I'm going to say that's 37.5 points on about 2 hours sleep. We're going to fight through it today. We're going to fight through it. We are back, and for Becca Pearman, you know what? I'm going to get a slow-mo 2X. You know what? Let's go 3X. Let's get crazy. I'm going to get a slow-mo 3X of Scotty Pearman here in slot number 4. All right. So right now, CJ Shaw did not show up. We did contemplate potentially me going in and trying to hit with a headset on and hit 5 sets without even warming up. Scotty Pearman, slot number 4. Becca, I got a good video of him in slow-mo. I'll edit it here soon, and I'll give it to Scotty. 415 now on. And going back, just like every athlete, they go back and watch their video, and I go back and watch video of these broadcasts. And just saw that one of the videos was at 72,000 yesterday. The ladies division, it's crazy. It's up to 92,000 now. So, you know, we greatly appreciate your support. And, you know, GF Sports and Entertainment, you know, there's a lot of people out here right now that are working behind the scenes that you don't see. And they're getting ready for that first, you know, big event in Tennessee or in Kingsport. We're going to be on TV. So, Alex Blauser, hello. Yeah, as I said, you know what? Bobby Ray is so funny. You know, looking at Kelly's deal, he is a personality, and we are 100% going to get him in the booth. Let's take a peek at Scotty. Hopefully he's trying to find the strike zone here. The good news is that Scotty has, if by chance he goes OB, I mean, whatever, he's going to have 400 points, but no one has a ball in play as of right now. But let's talk about Bobby Ray here. Slow season for Bobby Ray standards. I didn't write that. As he failed to advance into the top 16 in LaSalle. But you know what? Let's give him a hard time here. He just made it into the round of 32 after playoff was needed for the final. You know, we're going to play hardball here. Bobby Ray's 29 years old. He loves long walks on the beach. He may or may not own 3 or 4 unicorns. But he ended up winning a reality TV show, and Scotty Pearman gets a ball in play. Hey, it's a number. That's going to put him at 600. Daniel Owens in, but Scotty Pearman's at 600 points, so you're going to see him and Colton Castro into the round of 32. Sam Judah, we miss you, buddy. Nick Vorbeck, hello, good morning. Sam Judah, a guy that was asked the question, do I think that Sam Judah is a top 5 hitter? There's probably 8 guys that are in and around the top 5. You know, you said you got Martin, Kyle, JJ, that, you know, they're top 3, and then there's so many guys that you could say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, Zach Holton has put himself in position to win tournaments for the last 2 years. The kid's a stud, and it was really nice to watch him, you know, hitting Denver, and he got just stronger and found that slot. He found, like, I'm going to hit a cut down that left side, and I'm going to let that ground work for me. And, you know, it was really nice to see Zach. And We've said it again. I've said it a million times. I know Greg Knowles do. And but all these guys are really talented, and the field is getting better and better, period. The final 16, these guys, I can guarantee you, in the last 5 years, their ball speed average is 5 to 7 miles per hour faster, if not faster. So if you're not in and around, like I said, 210, it's depending on grid conditions, you're going to have a hard time making final 16s because, just like baseball, these dudes are throwing harder, Exit velocity is faster. They're bigger, faster, stronger. And tip of the cap to the technology as well. I know the technology helps. And you got guys like Eddie Fernandez swinging a 40-gram shaft, 25-gram grip, and 139 or 93-gram head. So they're going to be able to generate more speed. But the ability to, I said, and the golf ball, the ability to put up these numbers is just unbelievable. So it's incredible to watch the evolution of speed in this sport over the last 20 years. My first year, Mike Dobbin was 207, 208. Ball striker, won a world championship. Helstowski was going to be in, the low two teens, maybe up to 215. But and we talked about with me and Kyle a couple days ago about different formats, heads-up matches, double elimination formats. I think double elimination formats slow the hitter down a little bit just because there is a premium of hitting balls in play, and I feel like the pressure's on right away. And, for me, I like that. But for the viewers watching, I feel like, you guys can talk about it. Do you like these heads-up matches? Do you like double elimination formats? Do you like seeing different guys in the finals, or do you like to see the fastest guys in the world battling it out every single tournament, that are going to be in the Final 8? So, right now, Bobby Ray is at 364. If he does win this set, that would put him at 700. Bobby Ray is going to be safely in. You're going to see him into the round of 32. So, put him as one of the best entertainers on tour. He is unique, So, he is unique. Does a lot of corporate and charity outings as of last year, but started competing last year in World Long Drive. But he's got the mullet. He's got the earrings. He's got a belly button ring. Sorry, Bobby. The cat's out of the bag, buddy. They know it now. But like I said, a funny guy that 100% doesn't take himself seriously. But when he's on the grid, he's a fierce competitor and extremely fun to watch. So, good set here for Bobby Ray. Really, really good set. 367. Brian Kelly's at 344. Josh Jackson's at 333. But look, hey, that was a miss hit, but I like seeing 216 ball speed for Bobby Ray. He's back.
Long hitters in the world have come for a chance to call themselves a world champion. It's all about power. It's all about accuracy. It's all about guts. Everyone takes the championship belts. World championship.
Getting some questions about the golf ball. The golf ball might be a mile or 2 per hour slower on a center punch ball, but you know what? The ball flies farther. So in long drive, really, truly at the end of the day, it's about hitting the ball farther. And this is a really good flighting golf ball. It does travel farther, and the dispersion's a lot tighter. We got Kyle here in slot number 4. And, Kyle out of the blocks went 230. In the first set, OB on his second set, and then ended up popping 371 in his third set. So you got Jay Helstowski with a laser, 213 down that left side. And they said there is rollout, 15 to 20 yards of rollout. So let's take a peek at Jay's number. It's at 364. It's a solid ball for Jay. Jay is looking great. Obviously Colton Casco's got 4 straight wins, but I'm really, we've keyed in on Jay in this round of 16, and he is putting on a show right now. He's hitting the ball extremely well. So Kyle, OB left. He's at 372. So Kyle is currently in the lead. Jay Helstowski's longest drive so far is at 368. So he's going to have to improve by 5 yards to potentially take Kyle here. Kyle at 226.9. So consistently the fastest guy on the tee box. And Kyle was the fastest guy ball speed average in Denver as well. You got Wes and slot number 3 at 364. Said Wes is, and you know, if it's a roll grid, Wes is tough on roll grids, by the way. We're keying in on him right now. He lives in Hobestown. Wes. Looks like he's going OB left, but Wes is from Memphis, Tennessee. And his first full year, maybe it was his second year, he went up against Will here, Will Hogue in the finals. If I recall. Will ended up taking that tournament. I mean, it's their signature. We're talking about shorts. I mean, Marty Borghi shorts they're legendary. Bobby's are legendary as well. I mean, this is this is their uniform, and I love it. I think the uniforms are great. Kyle, slot number 4 at 372. He said just off a tad, but he goes 230.9. And it doesn't look like he's even getting after it right now. So we talked about a speed reserve and these guys bumping up their speed reserves, but Kyle right now looks like his speed reserve is like the high 220s, which is crazy. I mean, he looks fast, and like you said, he's obviously not happy with himself. Hitting a couple balls left, a couple balls right. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's got one ball in play at 372, and that's going to take down the set. That's going to put Kyle Berkshire at 600 points, which will put him in to the round of 32. So Kyle with the 3 longest drives of the day so far and the fastest ball speeds. But Colton Casto is at the top at 4 wins at 800, and we've seen Colton sweep round robins this year. Martin Borgmeyer has done it as well. Kyle's done it. But, it's impressive to get 5 straight wins against these guys. So, Colton looking good. So, this was the one that we were kind of concerned about was, having 2 ghost players on the tee box. So, let's take a peek. This will definitely benefit Trey Frankhauser if he does win. So, he's got an opportunity right now, a golden opportunity. If he takes down a win, he's going to have 400 points. So, having 2 ghost players definitely benefits. Let's see where Drew's at. Drew Anderson's at 125. So, mathematically, Drew's got a chance, but I would say he was out. So, guys that I feel extremely confident getting in are going to be Colton Casto. Well, he's in. Bobby Ray, Kyle Berkshire, Scotty Pearman. Brian Kelly's going to get in. Brian never misses the grid, and I'm not jinxing him. I don't even need to knock on wood. Brian's going to hit a couple balls in play. Jay Helstowski's back finding the grid after an OB set in his first set, and he has 2 wins, and he ended up tying for second place, which gave him 75 points to Wes Patterson. Wes Patterson's at 375. But right now, it's extremely important for Trey to hit a ball in play, which he does. He has a ball in play. So he has a number at 336. 440 people on hand right now tuning in. Mike Kerr, hello, good morning. Are you seriously going to have to watch this every week? I mean, we have 11 tournaments, We just have a video that just got 94,000 people, so I think people are interested. We got Pow Pow. Look at what? I got Gabby and Anna. Send a picture. My best friend, Mikey C. So we got Gabby sending pics. Yeah. But yeah, Pow Pow looked good. in Denver. That's her third second-place finish as well. But Trey right now is going to have, I'm looking at Trey, he's going to have 400 points. Yep. That's good text. So Trey's going to put Wes Patterson on the bubble, per se. Wes still has a set to go. He's at 375. So looks like Drew Anderson's going to go OB, but Trey Fankhauser is going to win the set, so he's going to have 400 points. All right, so Colton Castro, Bobby Ray, Kyle Berkshire, Scotty Pearman, they're in. Brian Kelly's in. I mean, technically, Daniel Owen, Isaiah Joyner, and Josh Jackson could potentially get, get the 500 points, but Brian Kelly literally just, technically has to hit a bunt. He needs to just put a ball and play that 525 points, and no one else can catch him to get in. So Trey Fankhauser is going to have 400 points. Let's go to the chat, YouTube Live. We're going to get some guys in the booth with me later on. So 64 men will enter battle here in Memphis, Tennessee. We are on a turf farm for the second tournament in a row. And if you're looking at it right now, we got Josh Jackson on. It is flat, and it is perfect. This grid is perfect. A little bit of wind from left to right now. Not too much. Yesterday they were competing into a headwind in the regionals. Spencer McDaniel, the host, ended up getting in. Josh Jackson got in as well. And then you got Glenn Wilson, the Whopper, Mr. Whopper. All right, so that was a critical ball for Jay Helstowski, just to put a ball in play, which is good. So that's going to put him at 500 points. Bare minimum if he took fourth place. So Jay Helstowski looks like he's going to be in to the round of 32. Josh Jackson, big set for him. If he wins, he'll be at 500 points. So big set for Josh Jackson. If he wins, he'll have 500. Heard a let's go from him. Right now, we didn't get the flight scope pop up on that ball from Josh Jackson, but he is currently in the lead at 354. Jay Helstowski with a ball down the left side. Didn't see the ball speed number on that one. Didn't get a reaction out of him. Oh, 214. That's a big ball. That one stays in play. It looks like Helstowski's going to take the lead. 355. He's down to his last ball. I think his fifth ball might have gone farther than 355 yards. Jay Helstowski with a win. That would put Josh Jackson at 400 points, which would put him on the bubble, which would have Wes Patterson on the outside looking in. If Wes wins, he would be in. I even think a second place from Wes at 475 would be in. Daniel Owen has to win his set. And he's going up against Brian Kelly, Wes Patterson, Isaiah Joyner. Isaiah Joyner's at 300 points as well. So we're going to see a next set here. You got Daniel Owen, Brian Kelly. Brian's in. Wes Patterson, Isaiah Joyner. So whoever wins out of that group, if Daniel, Wes, or Isaiah win, more than likely they're going to get in. Rocco's always like, I always like the way he's dressed, but he drove up from Palm Beach County. I flew, but that's a long drive. Jay Helstowski takes it in. He's going to be in the round of 32. Good work.
Hi, I'm Spencer McDaniel.
Travis Eakin. Glenn Wilson Jr.
Josh Jackson.
Gavin Yokas, and today I qualified
For the World Long Drive Championships.
And today I qualified
The World Long Drive Championship.
It was good. The regionals are a long day. You're kind of sticking in there in the early rounds and just hitting your mark.
I'm the perfect representation of a guy who should come out and give World Long Drive a shot.
What makes this location special is we've got kind of a blank canvas.
Number one, you're going to have a blast no matter what, right? That great camaraderie out here.
Yeah, I'm happy to qualify and shoot myself into the top 50.
I think it's funny. You got Mr. Whopper there, Glenn Wilson Jr., a guy like him, a guy that used to be the fastest guy in the world, 225, took some time off. I mean, Glenn's a competitor, and, yeah, he's not at 225 anymore. But I guess what he was saying is that, yeah, he's going to be 206, 208, put a lot of balls in play. So if you're watching this for the first time and you have a stock driver, then you can go 190 with 185, 190. You got a chance here to come out and compete. But Glenn's was one of the best hitters and still an unbelievable competitor. And see him get in, and Spencer, it was nice to see. Those guys have been around in this sport for a really, really long time. Great dudes. And we'll see Glenn Wilson hit here at 10 o'clock. So Mr. Whopper will be here at 10, and more than likely, if I can get him in the booth, he is awesome in the booth, and great at asking questions, got great insight, and I look forward to seeing him hit. But I said look forward to seeing him in the booth with me as well, because we're going to get him in as well. Wes Patterson, big set for him because he's at 375. So if he took third place, he would have 450. Isaiah Joyner would have to win. Daniel Owen would be at 400. So the way this plays out right now is that Wes Patterson is currently in at 341 because he would have 450 points. Isaiah Joyner would be at 500. Now Brian Kelly is in at 500, which we knew that would happen anyways. But it's always safe to say hit a bunt and play, you'd have 525 points. But Wes currently is in. He's in third place right now, and I think that would get him in. Isaiah Joyner, big set for him, has to win. He's in the lead. Let's take a peek at Wes Patterson. Slot number 3. Obi Wright. And like I said, Brian Kelly just putting a lot of balls in play right now. He's still 2 behind Wes. If Wes ended up taking 4th, there would be a logjam at 400 points. There would be definitely a big playoff here. But right now, Brian Kelly may have it improved on that last ball. Let's see if Brian Kelly's last ball, and because Wes takes 4th, there's definitely going to be a playoff. There's no doubt. Daniel Owen would have 400 points. Wes would have 400 points. Trey and Josh Jackson would have 400. So this is a big last ball here for Brian Kelly. Isaiah Joyner is in. Did Brian Kelly improve on his last ball to beat Wes Patterson? That is the question. Did ball number 6 from Brian Kelly? If not, Wes Patterson is in. You can cut the tension with a knife. Daniel Owen is potentially at 3-4 is in second right now, but Brian Kelly's last ball might have taken at least second place there. Still waiting on that last ball. .345, Brian Kelly. We're going to see a playoff for there's going to be at least 4 guys here. Even on 2 hours sleep, I can figure out this math. Yeah, there's 4 guys in the playoff. So, yep. Yeah, Wes has got his clubs. Now, he ended up not hitting in the regional yesterday, I don't think. So his clubs didn't make it. Yep. So Brian Kelly's last ball. And it worked out perfect for Daniel Owen, because he would have been knocked out if Brian Kelly ended up beating him. He would have had 350 points instead. So we got Kyle Berkshire here in slot number 4. And I do have a feeling that Kyle is going to step on the gas here and just go full gas. It looks like he's cruising at I said 229 ball speed. Scotty Pearman, slot number 2. Bobby Ray's at 362. Kyle Berkshire's 371. Scotty Pearman is OB on his first couple balls. We have the camera down in slot number 2 currently. Getting a little recoil from Kyle. This one looks like this one's in play. 147 feet in the air. Not much movement. 10-yard draw. 367 yards of carry. He's looking better. And I'm liking seeing this from Kyle, hitting balls and playing slot number 4. I know the first couple events, slot number 4 is kind of the tougher slot here, especially with it. We've had left to right wind. Bobby Ray is featured currently. But we are going to 100% have a 4-man playoff for one spot. One spot. Kyle Berkshire, 375. Scotty Pearman, 371. All right, now. Scotty Pearman and Bobby Ray, both those guys' longest drives are at 371. But Kyle, right now, with the four longest drives of this set, he is the fastest guy. There's 229.9. He's hit almost 231 so far from what I have seen. So once again, he has an OB set, but he's got 3 straight W's. Colton Castro with 4 straight wins, still working on a number. A lot of movement right to left on Colton's 5th golf ball. That one looks like it's going to go OB. I'm looking at all the OB sets. There hasn't been too many OB sets from the top guys. We've had 4. Jay Helstowski's got 1. Kyle, Scotty, and Isaiah potentially. Colton on this last ball. Looks like this one may stay in, but no, we're looking at push out left. Mr. Berkshire, 231.2. He is fast. 2,700 spin, 200 feet in the air, 377 carry. That's the longest carry I've seen so far. 383. Kyle Berkshire on the last ball of the set with the longest drive. Mr. Berkshire, will try to get him in the booth here a little later. But we're going to have a 4-man playoff for one spot. The 2-time world champ, world number 1, looking good. Group number 2 is going to start at 10 o'clock here, featuring Mr. BurgerFi, Marty Borgie 240, Maurice Allen, world champ. Sean Johnson and Reed Russell. Reed Russell has had a good season. Sean Johnson, last 2 events, has looked awesome. So we got some really good hitters coming up here at 10 o'clock, so stay tuned. But right now, we're cranking on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. We got, how many we got on right now? 420. Jacob Galladay would like that number. Luke Wood, funny guy. Luke Wood is in the house. A McGann disciple. You mentioned Steve McGann earlier on today. Steve McGann would make clubs disappear. He was the best. We would always joke around. He's had 23,940 5-star reviews on eBay selling clubs, and he was the master. So if you needed to get lawn drive equipment, McGann's your guy. But here we are, Hattie. We got a 4-man playoff. Who we got? We got Wes Patterson, Josh Jackson, Daniel Owen, and Trey Frankhauser. And said that was a huge set for Trey because he only had to go up against another guy. So we had 2 ghost guys. That's the first time all year that we've had 2 ghost guys in a set. But right now we got Trey Frankhauser in 1, Wes Patterson in 2, Josh Jackson in 3, Daniel Owen in 4. Let's take a look at everybody's longest drives. Wes Patterson's at 364. Josh Jackson's at 358. Daniel Owen at 348. Trey Frankhauser is at 339. Advantage goes to Wes Patterson. He is the fastest guy on this tee box right now. I do like that he is in slot number 2 as well. Josh Jackson did hit yesterday, so he has the most experience on this grid so far. And Josh Jackson making his first World Championship appearance here in Atlanta in October. So congratulations to Josh Jackson once again. Don't know if players pull out. I mean, it was there was bad weather yesterday. Like I said, you can hear my sob story, but my first flight was delayed 6 hours. We were actually on the runway with two planes to go to fly in the air. I was supposed to land at 9:20. I may or may not have got into my hotel until about 2:30 last night. So it was a nightmare, but we're here. We're here. And they don't have rent-a-cars in Memphis after 12:30, so I had to get a car, an Uber over. But we're here. We're announcing. We're in Memphis. Starting to heat up. The moisture's starting to go away. It's a 4-man playoff. Only one man will survive, though, to get into the round of 32. Wes Patterson is in slot number 2, working on getting that camera to work. We're seeing numbers. Don't see them, but the flight scope's working. That one's OB right from Wes, and I have no idea. Like, it's just yellow, but I know that based off of the shot tracer, that is definitely OB. Daniel Owen with the ball down the left side, 201. Not sure if that one's in play or not. There's no numbers on the board as of right now. Josh Jackson with a little cut down the right side. This one looks like it's drifting OB right. Wes Patterson looks like he's going to be OB left. Still don't have a visual on Wes, but I can see his ball flight. No numbers as of right now. Looks like Daniel Owen's second ball is going to be in play. Josh Jackson's at 348, so that cut down that right side did stay in play on Josh Jackson's second ball. Only one man is going to make it from this. I feel like Daniel Owen's second ball is in play. He is. He's at 330. Wes can't see him, but he has a bullet right down the middle at 215, just based off of height. It doesn't look like he hit it very high at 94 feet in the air, and it carried 320, but it was 215 miles per hour, 360. Wes Patterson didn't see it, but thanks to the flight scope shot tracer, I was able to see that he hit it in play, and now we have a visual on Wes Patterson in slot number 2. So we had a yellow screen, and the shot tracer was red. So Wes Patterson's in the lead at 360. He is from Memphis, hometown boy, even though he is living in South Florida in Hobe Sound, is currently in the lead at 360, and not one guy has hit it over 360 that is currently on the tee box besides Wes. Josh Jackson's close at 358 with his longest ball. But Wes Patterson, 94 feet in the air, laser, 215 right down the middle. So these guys are down to their last golf balls. It looks like Josh Jackson's last ball is flirting down that right side, but was a miss hit at 199 mile per hour. Doesn't look like he's going to be in here. So it's down to Daniel Owen and Trey. Trey with a nice little recoil there. He was going after it. Looks like a miss hit, but Wes Patterson, based off of ball speed loading, is going to get in. All right, so the field is going to be set. Wes Patterson's going to get in. Kyle Berkshire, Colton Casto, Bobby Ray, Scotty Pearman, Jay Helstowski, Brian Kelly, Isaiah Joyner, and Wes Patterson are going to be in. It is 9:22 here Central Time. We're going to have about a 38-minute break. Group 2 will feature Martin Borgmeyer, Maurice Allen, Sean Johnson, and Reed Russell. We will see you here soon. We are live in Memphis. 64 men are going to go down to 1 here tomorrow. The seniors are going to be hitting as well.